Howdy folks, welcome back to Railroader. It's time for some big changes. We've got a new loco, we've got a new gaming PC, we've got new graphics settings. Let's get to it. So we're still here in day 22. It's towards the end of the day. So we're still the same day as the last video. But as you can see, we've bought a new locomotive. This is the C40 Mastodon. And it is number 4. It actually auto-picked 400, which is perfect. So I just knocked a couple zeros off of it. And I'm also playing on my new gaming rig. All the details will be forthcoming. I haven't updated the About page yet, but I've got all the settings basically maxed here on the game, and it's still running great. So you'll see a lot more trees, a lot more draw distance, a little more grass detail. But it seems to be running great. Just hope the sound is okay. I've been trying to match it up based on the OBS levels. I'm still recording and editing with the same rig, but the gaming PC itself is new. But anywho, I bought this engine, and the next step is to buy the tracks over to Sylva. I wanted to buy this first so we didn't have to drive it all the way from Sylva. We also need to get it topped up with coal and water and get it turned because we're going to be taking all the cars to the interchange this evening with the new engine. That's the plan. So what about the other engines, I hear you say? Well, that's a great question. Right now, I've still got number 2. He's working down in here, but he's going to take over. I'm not sure what he's going to take over for, but I kind of want to use the number 3, the little engine, as just the local sawmill switcher. And I'm probably going to be buying something else to run up the Connolly branch. So number 2 might just sit in the shed for a while right now. We'll see, but he's got some cars there he's bringing out. Number 3 itself was down to about 92% condition, so he's in the shop getting fixed up. So that's what we got going on right now. Let's go ahead and let's do the new engine here. Let's get him filled up with coal and water, and we'll get him turned around. So I picked a whistle that sounded kind of good. So if you know what that one is, let me know. Need to get on over to the water setup. I have not yet driven this new loco. So. Lots of linkages here. It's a 480, a decent sized tender. Don't need to get too much speed up while we just ease down here to the water intake. It's got all kinds of room for water in there and lots of room for coal as well. So I think it's going to make a good mainline hauler. I might still end up using number 2 for like the Whittier to Ella run, stuff like that. We'll see. I'll kind of figure it out as I go. Let's get you moving just a little bit. Easy on the brakes. Something like that. Need to move up just a little more. It bothers me when the water's splashing where it shouldn't be. It shouldn't bother me, but it does. This thing is almost big enough. Can we load coal at the same time? It's going to clip into the cab roof. But yeah, you actually could load coal at the same time if you didn't care about it clipping to the terrain. But that's going to bother me, so we won't do that. I do need to get some screenshots of this beautiful engine, though. And I need to turn off the camera sound in Steam. I haven't got that done yet. But as far as the new gaming PC goes, I am running Linux, so some stuff's going to be a little different. The main thing I've noticed is some games, while the frame rate is good, it's not consistent. It's kind of hard to describe. Even in this game, I'm getting like over 100 FPS, but sometimes it feels stuttery because it's not consistent. So it's a bit of an experiment, and it's not for the faint of heart. But thought I'd give it a whirl. So I've been tweaking and installing things, and so far it's pretty impressive where Linux gaming is at. I use Linux as a day job. I've been a Linux user since about 1995, but I use it on servers. It's a whole different thing running it on the desktop. Something as simple as getting my audio over to the stream PC took much research, reading documentation, Googling, to finally figure out that I had to like basically create a virtual device with Pulse audio and mix them together. And yeah, so it's an adventure. But this video is about trains. Really, the only difference you all should see is there's more detail on Railroader now. Pretty cool. Man, that is slowly bringing that up. Need to get this guy out of there. So I think I need to turn this guy on the Y. So I think I'll shove those cars on through to Whittier, turn the engine, and that could bring the cars back and set them there as we come back the other way. We've got some switching moves, and we've got some time to wait. So I'm going to put a cut in here while I get this thing filled with coal and water. And we'll be right back with some more Loco movement. All right, we're full of fuel and ready to head out. Go ahead and I switched to waypoint mode. So let's come down here and hook on to these guys. So I get quite a few comments. I should mention again, I'm on the experimental branch on Steam. So that's how I have the auto engineer waypoint mode. Go check the Steam discussions on Railroader for how to back up your saves, which is important, and also how to switch to the beta branch. And then also, I've had a few comments asking about shortcuts. I don't think it's documented yet in the help, but you can do Control-G. So Control-F is a fusee. Control-G lets you place the waypoint, if you're in waypoint mode. Let's see, are you applied? Nope. Crunch. So we'll go ahead and put air in there. We probably don't need it. Another thing I've noticed, at least with this game, the scroll wheel is very inconsistent. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. Just Linux things. All right, so, and I'm interested to see how this recording turns out. I'm going to shove those cars down here. We'll say go there. And then we'll watch this big, beautiful locomotive take off. Oh, yeah. That is a good looking locomotive. It's also a lot of log cars we're shoving around. All right, so while that's moving along, let's take a little look at the locomotive list. I'm kind of tempted just to get the K35. For the logging branch. But I did that last season, so that's 28.5. Where's the big... I'm trying to remember which switcher I had on the Appalachia branch. Might have been the S23. So we're gonna need something around like the 30 to 35,000 pound, I think. That would definitely do it. Maybe we could even do one of these guys, but it's just a little bigger. I really think the K35 is just perfect for the Connolly branch. Moving things up and down. And it's got a lot more water and coal capacity. Alright, so I need this guy. And there's my scroll wheel not working again. I might actually need him down here. Maybe even further than that. Let's just tell him to go down to there. He'll knock that. We don't need to go fast. So I need these cars down here past far enough that I can get the engine back into the Y. So we're going to be turning the engine. So tender engine. We need the cars about right there-ish. Yeah, that'll do. There's plenty of room to get back on the Y, and I'm going to block the main line here for just a bit. This level here? Pretty sure this is levels, but I'm going to go ahead and throw a handbrake on. Just so those don't wander off. And then what I want to do is run this engine up through the Y. Get it turned around for the trip to Sylva. So I will be running my trains from Sylva to Whittier the correct way. Locomotive in front, facing the right direction. And we don't even have to build the roundhouse in Dillsboro for that because we have the Y now down in Sylva. So that's pretty cool. Yes, indeed. All right, now if I tell you to go over here, you keep going backwards? You do. Excellent. So I'm going to tell you to go down there. We'll see how that turns out. Okay, then if I say come back over here, you keep going that way and you're going to back up. I think that's the way it's going to work. Cool. I want you to come back over this way. Then we'll pull these cars back over there because we need the cars on the siding. I just had to kind of get them out of the way. So I'm going to back up the engine, we'll hook onto those cars, and we'll head right back over to East Whittier. Got one more car over here ready to go, so I'll just have a number 2 grab that. Let's get back on number 2. Gonna disconnect. I'm having back off. I got the cars back over here with number 4, so let's go back to number 4. Got a lot going on here. Get him unhooked. I'm going to go ahead and stick him here for now. Because I didn't plan out my moves very well. That's okay. We'll put him down on 10. He doesn't need to be going too fast. And we're going to buy another locomotive. How do you like the sound of that? And I think I will go ahead and get the logging Mikado. Only 14.4. Boom. My engine roster window is getting too big. All right, he's coming on back. So let's go down to this guy. Got the mighty Mikado. We're going to need to get him topped off with coal and water as well. The thing I want to do, though, is change this guy to number 5. I'm just numbering them sequentially. Nothing terribly complicated. And he's going to be the East Whittier Logging Company as well. And let's get him on down here and get some stuff in. So I need to pick a whistle. He comes with a 5 chime. It's not too bad. It's not the default whistle. That'll work for now. I'm sure somebody in the comments will let me know that that's not the correct whistle at all because it's Durango and Western or whatever. The Durango and Rio Grande. Yeah, Durango and Rio Grande. There's probably a more correct whistle for this locomotive. Let me know in the comments. I'll take it into consideration. So number 5 needs some water and coal, and then number 5 is going to head up the Connolly branch. And remember, these bigger locos do take a little longer to stop. Oops. Too much. Think that'll be close enough? Yeah, that's good enough. All right, so he's going to take on water and coal, and then he's going to take all the log cars up the Connolly branch. After that, we can grab number 4 and pull these cars out. Shove them over there. And then basically we're just going to wait till evening time because there's probably going to be some more cars here ready to head out. And then we'll end the video by taking our little evening trip down to Sylva after we purchase. I'm pretty sure once you purchase it, it just opens up. Because that milestone, yeah, it doesn't have any phases. It's just phase 1 of 1. You don't have to take any cars or anything, so it'll just open up. And then I don't know if the cars here that were already tagged for the East Whittier interchange will update. So we'll just have to see. At any rate, we'll at least have to take the Loco down to Sylva to get the cars in the morning. And then the next video, we'll probably just start, at the beginning. Bringing the cars up from Sylva. Then go about our normal day. Exciting times here at the East Whittier Logging Company. And also in the background, I have been running the passenger train. You saw it just paid for passengers. So let's jump down there. Set that back to Whittier so it can be filling up. Here, nope, those are still good. Whee. Okay, we're full of water. We get some coal in this bad boy and we'll head up the Connolly branch. Boy, filling up these larger locomotives is really making it hard on our coal supply. This car is already half gone. So that'll be a large part of moving forward is just buying coal to keep an eye on that. That's why I went ahead and preemptively got the other car down here. All right, number 5, you can go to waypoint mode. You don't need to go in 15. Or I mean 35. And we're going to send you down the Connolly branch. What was the old sawmill doing? Well, they got plenty of logs. The pond is full. I look forward to dirt and grime. Everything's too shiny. All in due time. So if we go look, this has 35,400 versus 28. So we should have plenty of power for shoving these logs around on the branch. Shouldn't get in a position where I'm stuck trying to do something up there. All right, let's get some air in you. We're going to set you to 25. Then we're going to send you all the way up to L1. Let's forget which key to push. Then I need you to come up to this tree. Right by this little snap point. That should do. See if I can get a nice little screenshot here as it takes off. Always looking for a good thumbnail. All right, he is off. Let's switch back over to number 4. And number 4, I want you to grab these on your nose. And we're going to take those on down to the interchange track. So I was kind of thinking about that while I was loading up the coal. I think the idea is we're going to have the new number 4. It's going to be kind of our road locomotive. It's going to run the big trains between East Whittier and Sylva. And then, of course, we got the new number 5 logging Mikado for the Connolly branch, running the logs up and down the Connolly branch. Then we're going to have the number 3 saddle tank Mikado, or what's it called? Logging tank? Logging tank Mikado. That's going to be doing the local switching around the sawmill, East Whittier. Number 1 is going to continue doing passenger service. I think it'll be fine doing passenger service the whole way. We'll see how it reacts, though. And then number 2 can do the like Whittier and Ella switching. So we're not taking our big road loco just for those little short runs. That's kind of the idea right now. Let me know what you think about that plan. Do we need this many locomotives? No, but it's fun, right? All right, let's bump you back up to, say, 20, and let's have you bring those down here and tack on to the end of this train, which is headed out. Actually, that's going to be too... Yeah, it's going to be too much, so we'll have you bring it down here. So for sure is in the interchange. And once these are in the interchange, I'm going to try buying the track to Sylva. Let's put you down here. Actually, I can just bring you all the way down because I'm going to have to hook onto you. That'll work. Then if we need to, we'll pull the cars to Sylva. Or if we end up not needing to, we can just light run the engine down there. Then once those are out of the way, I can get number 2 out of the hole here. So where would number 2 live? Is he just going to have to hang out here on one of these tracks probably, unless he's switching? He'll be out of the way. So I could go ahead and get him up here, ready to head out. Got 5 locomotives now. I got to be careful. I've actually got the right one selected. And then I'll get I think by the time these are ready to come out, number 3 will be repaired. We can get him down here in the hole and have him do his new job. Yeah, he's up to 95% condition, so he's getting repaired. You don't need to set the destination, by the way, for the repair. It just lets you route them somewhere, you know, if you're doing multiplayer or you want to have a tag above it that says where it's going. Since it's just me, I knew where it was going, so I just drove it there. As long as it's on the repair track, catchment area, you'll be just fine. You can check that with your engine service. With the repair track right there. All right, he's moving on there. We should get paid for those. Meanwhile, we can get number 2. I'm just going to stick him over here for now. Actually, he might as well get some repair while he's sitting in here. Waiting for the next day. Then we do need to keep an eye on number 1, but it's pretty much a waiting game at this point. If we fly down here, yeah, they're not quite full yet. I like having the further detail distance. The grass, you know, goes a lot further out in the distance. Super happy with the new gaming PC. Oh, and the best part, for those of you that weren't at the build stream I did over on my other channel, I ordered a 4070 Super, and they sent me a 4090. So, yay. It seems to work just fine. The weird part, it was in a box. Like, it looks like a return. It was in a generic box for, I think it's a Zotac. It's a brand I hadn't heard of. It's apparently well known these days. It's just kind of a generic box. The box didn't even say what it was. It just said Zotac. And it was just kind of in some bubble wrap. And yeah, it looked like it was a return. But it does work. So, knock on wood, it'll keep working. I've been playing a lot of games on it the last few days, and it's zero problems. So I think they just messed up. Alrighty, you hang out there, sir. Meanwhile, let's go back over here to number 4. Oops. That one wasn't done yet. Accidentally pulled that out. Okay, fun. I'm gonna need to be on the other side of that. Guess I accidentally pulled that out. So number 3 is in there. I could just leave it here, basically. I can actually stick it right here outside the door. It'll be ready to pick up. Let me go 25. We need to get some close-ups on these new locos. What a beast. I didn't set the marker lights. Oh, fun. It thinks this is the head of the train. I guess because the way the loco is facing. You get too carried away there, Mr. Engine. That'll work. Alright, let's have you... Let's get you hooked up to the consist here. You're gonna have to do a little running around, but that's okay. Go ahead and set him up to full speed and let him get down there, because he's gonna be ready to head out this evening. Number 2. Headlight turned off all the headlights. Stuff we're not using. And while he's moving around, let's go check in with the logging Mikado. Has made it up to here. So we're going to do the usual where we drop the cars off. And I try to get my scroll wheel to work. Lump you right there, knock you down to 10 so you don't get too carried away on the speed. So many trees down here, it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to just pop myself on the hill over here. I hear the switch moving. All right. Well done. Okay, same old drill, different locomotive. I'm going to take those up the branch. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, got number 4 working away here. Just catching it backing in to hook onto here. Now, a lot of these cars going back, to the interchange are loaded full of lumber, so the train might be kind of heavy. So we got the Mastodon here. The Mighty Massey. Now I can turn these marker lights off, I think. Chew on some air. That handbrake off. Like we got some other broken connections back here we need to take care of. Where are you? You are. There we go. Now we're full of air and ready to go. Everybody has arrived at their waypoints. Okay, I'm going to get this guy on up the track. I don't want to fast forward time until there's logs loading on here because that just kind of be a waste of time. So let me do a little behind the scenes work. Getting these cars all sorted out, getting the logs ready to come back down, and I'll see you in a bit. Well, a lot has happened in that little edit there for you guys. You may notice the game looks a little different. I'm back on my old computer. I was happily working away there in between the edits, and my video card quit working. Froze, hard locked. So I think I got a bad card. I had my suspicions when I opened the box. It was just a plain, manufacturer box. Didn't even know what the card was till I looked at the little etching on the chips and the circuit board and stuff. So I've contacted support. I'll try to get that card replaced. So I'm back on my old computer. Thanks to cloud saves, I'm just picked right back up where I left off. So not a huge deal, but we're going to finish out this episode on the old computer. So the draw distance is not quite as good. And you can see here it's going on towards evening. I've got the train down here pretty much lined up. I want to see when we buy the tracks, do I have to take this to the interchange tonight or do I take it in the morning? So let's see what happens. I'm going to go to my company window, milestones, purchase track to Sylva. And I'm going to drop a save real quick. It's only $7,500. Okay, paid for purchase. Purchase track has been completed. Ooh, so I do have to take them tonight. Okay. I wasn't sure what would happen, but now we know. So let's get number 4 here. And let's see, I need to get you hooked up to air. Take your handbrake off. So I'm going to assemble this train. And then I believe, yeah, these have changed as well. Interesting. Okay. So is it worth pulling those 2 cars out? Or just wait till morning time? I think I'll just wait till morning time when all these are ready. So we're going to let number 3 just sit there. Got the new number 5 over here with the logs waiting. There's just enough room there to sit on that with those cars. But basically, we're ready to take number 4 and head for Sylva. And that'll end the video. Going to get the train assembled. We're 680 tons now. We'll see what we're at when we hook onto this bigger cut. It's going to be heavy. A lot of this is lumber. It was 70 tons? 70 tons of wood chips. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Well, we'll see what the old Mastodon is made of. I think it'll be fine. For chunk, there we go. All right, 1897 tons, 1,365 feet, 32 cars, so 30 cars, and then the engine and the tender. And I'm going to go ahead and say 35. And we're just going to send it. But before we send it, let's go down to Sylva. Where are we sending it to? There have been some track changes. It just needs to go to the interchange. So I think we're good to go just to pull on into the interchange. Yeah, they just added this Y here, and it kind of comes off the tracks that were already there for that building, it looks like. And there's this other lead there. But yeah, I think we just need to head down here to the tracks. Make sure I'm facing the right way. It's easy to get turned around down here. And yeah, we'll just say go here. We're going to head off, not into the sunset, but away from the sunset. And that'll be it for this video, I think, as we roll on out of here. I think it'll make it. Should be no problem. Then we'll see what we got in the morning in the next video. We'll start out at Sylva. Thanks as always for watching, folks. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.